How often should you change bait? Keep it fresh. Keep fish hooked. Yo, what's good, fishing crew? Welcome back to Fishing 24 Hours, the Channel 4 epic fishing adventures, killer tips, and stories that'll make your heart race. Ever been out on the water, float sitting dead still, fish cruising by but ignoring your bait? You're probably wondering, is my bait still fresh enough to tempt these fish? Today, we're re-diving into the ultimate secret. How often should you change bait to keep it fresh, fragrant, and irresistible, making carp and bass swarm your spot like it's a fish party? This trick will turn any fishing trip into a bucket-filling legend. Picture this: a crisp morning at Lake Louisville, Texas, where the breeze is chill and fish are jumping. Me and my buddies hit the lake, pumped with store-bought dough bait, casting like champs. But an hour in, our floats are lifeless. Not a nibble, even with fish swimming right under our noses. I'm ready to call it quits when my buddy Jake, the group's fishing guru with a knack for noticing the little things, slaps my shoulder and says, "Dude, your bait's gone stale. Swap it out, mix fresh cornmeal with some yogurt, and watch the magic." I take his advice, mash up leftover rice from last night's takeout, mix it with toasted cornmeal and a dollop of sour yogurt, roll small balls, and cast near a grassy bank. Boom. In under 5 minutes, my float dives, and I reel in a 4-pound carp, splashing like it's auditioning for a movie. The crew goes wild, high-fiving like we just won the Super Bowl. That day, I bagged bluegill and a couple of bass, bucket overflowing, grin, ear tweer. That's when it hit me. Swapping bait at the right time is the game changer. In this video, we're unlocking the secret of when to change bait, why fresh bait is a fish magnet, how to prep it right, the best spots to cast, and which fish go nuts for it. I've got 2 real-deal stories from the US to pump you up. Plus, pro tips, beginner hacks, and safety notes to make you the king of any fishing hole. These tricks work in ponds, lakes, rivers, and creeks across America, from Lake Louisville to the Colorado River, for species like carp, grass carp, bluegill, bass, and catfish. So grab an ice-cold soda, kick back, and let's dive into this fishing adventure to hook monster fish. Why swap bait regularly? Even the best bait loses its mojo in water. Dough, worms, or powder bait gets washed out, scent fades, and fish turn their noses up. Wild fish are picky, sniffing out strong, fresh aromas that scream dinner time. Old bait dissolves, falls off the hook, or gets nibbled away by small fry, leaving big fish uninterested. Fresh bait keeps the scent strong, texture perfect, making fish feel safe and ready to chow down. This trick keeps your float dancing, fish swarming, and ups your odds of landing a trophy. I've tested it on countless trips, and changing bait at the right moment is pure gold. Prepping bait starts with picking the right stuff. Go for mashed cold rice mixed with toasted cornmeal, live worms, shrimp, or homemade dough. For rice bait, grab sticky leftover rice, mash it smooth, mix with toasted cornmeal at a 1-to-1 ratio, and add a splash of warm water or sour yogurt for extra scent. Roll into fingertip-sized balls, wrapping tight around a size 4 to 6 hook. Swap bait every 15 to 20 minutes, or sooner if your float's dead. Drop to the bottom for carp or grass carp, setting your float 5 to 10 centimeters from the hook. Using a 1/16 to 1/8 ounce sinker to hold steady. Carp nibble lightly, so wait for a full float dip or steady pull. Then set the hook gently. Use a 6 to 8 pound test line for big fighters. The key is keeping bait fresh and fragrant. Store it in a sealed container. Keep it cool. Avoid heat that sours the mix. For worms, pick lively ones, swapping every 10 to 15 minutes if fish aren't biting. For dough bait, mix only what you need for an hour to maintain stickiness. At Lake Louisville, rice-cornmeal bait with yogurt, swapped every 15 minutes, is a carp killer near grassy banks. Watch the water. Bubbles or fish shadows signal a feeding frenzy. If your float twitches lightly, wait for a full dip to set the hook firm. Don't use soggy bait. It falls apart and fish skip it. Timing your bait swap depends on the fish and water. For carp or grass carp, change every 15 to 20 minutes, as they love fresh bottom bait. For white and more, fishing mid-water, swap every 10 to 15 minutes. Twitching your rod every 2 to 3 seconds to spread the scent. In murky water, or after rain, swap every 10 minutes, as water washes scent away fast. If your float's still after 20 minutes, check the bait. Small fish might have eaten it. On the Colorado River, frequent bait swaps post-rain keep carp and catfish locked in. Prime fishing spots are key. Fresh bait shines in calm lakes like Louisville or slow-moving rivers like the Colorado. Farm ponds or muddy-bottom creeks are carp and grass carp hangouts. Cast near grass, submerged roots, or quiet pool bottoms. Use a 1/16 to 1/8 ounce sinker to keep bait steady. At Louisville, grassy edges or root zones post-rain are hotspots. If no bubbles or fish show, move to a shadier, quieter spot. Test your float a few times to ensure bait hits the right depth, not floating mid-water. Fish that love fresh bait include carp, grass carp, white amur, bluegill, bass, and catfish. Carp and grass carp crave fragrant rice bait on the bottom 4 to 8 inches deep. White amur go for mid-water bait, 0.5 to 1 meter deep, needing fresh scent to bite. Bluegill and bass love live worms, swapped often to stay lively. If your float jerks hard, set the hook quick but gentle with a 4 to 6 pound test line. Fresh bait catches even the lightest nibbles from bluegill. Timing your fishing is huge. Carp and grass carp feed hard early morning, 4:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. or late afternoon, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. near grass or roots. White amur hits strong at midday or post-rain by flooded grass. Cloudy days after rain or light breezes are perfect. Fish drop their guard and bite eagerly. At Louisville, post-rain is prime for frequent bait swaps to draw big fish. If your float's dead, wait for peak hours or cast closer to the fish's feeding zone. To boost success, chum lightly before casting. Near roots, scatter mashed rice-cornmeal or yogurt-mixed bait for carp. By grass, toss dough powder for white amur. Chum sparingly. Wait 10 to 15 minutes for fish to gather. Look for bubbles or fish, then cast fresh bait. This turns your spot into a fish magnet, upping big catch odds. If no bites in 15 to 20 minutes, swap bait or shift spots. Add molasses to the mix for extra scent to lure giants. Here's another story to fire you up. One sunny afternoon on the Colorado River, my crew and I set up for a chill fishing sesh. My buddies left their dew bait on for over an hour, floats dead, fish ignoring them. Kept swapping my worm bait every 10 minutes, casting near a reed bed. In 15 minutes flat, my float dove, and I reeled in a 3-pound catfish, thrashing like a rock star. The gang went nuts. Fresh bait's the real deal. That day, I hooked a few bass too, bucket heavy, an adventure for the books. To swap bait like a pro, prep smart. Bring a mix: rice-cornmeal, worms, shrimp dough. Store in a sealed, cool container to avoid spoilage. For rice bait, mix enough for an hour, swapping every 15 to 20 minutes. Use size 4 to 6 hooks, strong 6 to 8 pound lines, sensitive float, and check for where to avoid breaks. Watch for bubbles, ripples, fish to pick spots. Cast at the right depth bottom for carp, mid-water for white amur. If no bites in 15 to 20 minutes, swap bait or tweak the float. In calm lakes, cast near grass or roots, 4 to 8 inches from the bottom. In slow rivers, pick quiet corners. In muddy ponds, drop to the bottom with a 1/16 to 1/8 ounce sinker. Post-rain, frequent bait swaps shine, pulling carp and grass carp. Keep experimenting. If no action after 15 to 20 minutes, move or mix in yogurt. Avoid soggy or old bait, fish won't bite. Safety's non-negotiable. Keep bait dry and sealed, especially in hot spots like Louisville. Don't overchum, fish get full and skip your hook. Avoid slippery banks, especially post-rain, to prevent falls. On the Colorado, wear a life jacket near currents. Keep noise low. Avoid shadows on the water. Bluegill and white amur spook easy. Set a light behind you at night to avoid tripping. A little caution keeps the vibe chill and safe. New to fishing? Swapping bait right is a killer lesson. Try a pond with rice bait, swapping every 15 minutes, dropping to the bottom for carp. Or fish white amur in a lake, swapping every 10 minutes, mid-water at 0.5 to 1 meter.
Ow.
Note which spots and baits work, like grass carp post-train. Don't sweat a still float. Switch spots or use fresher bait. This builds observation and patience, setting you up for big catches. To level up, master bait swap timing. twitch for midwater fish, or mix molasses for big fish. Hit ponds, lakes, or rivers, picking spots by water signs. Use fresh rice, fragrant cornmeal, lively worms. In crowded spots, find a quiet corner to keep fish calm. These details make you a fishing rock star, even with simple bait. Swapping bait right is a game changer few spill. Fresh, fragrant, on-point bait keeps fish hooked. 3 words: fresh, fragrant, timely. Every fresh swap, fish swarming, floats, diving, feels like an epic adventure. When the float dips, heart pounding, rod gripped tight, that's a moment only anglers get. Rookie or pro, this trick makes you the boss of any fishing hole. That's a wrap, crew. We've cracked the secret of when to swap bait, from prepping it, picking spots, to dodging mistakes. Hope you're hyped to test this hack. Smash like, share with your fishing squad, and subscribe to Fishing 24 Hours for more epic tips. Add a bait swap story that's pure fire. Drop it in the comments, I'm dying to hear. Tight lines, monster catches. See you on the next adventure.